So what does this all mean? There's a lot of different certifications that mean a lot of different things. Some are more specific than others. I'm going to talk to you about, or speak to you rather, about a certification system that really is a winner. One that also pulls in other certifications to become a more kind of a clearinghouse for what it means to be green for a building. I want to talk to you a little bit about the importance of that relative to the overall environmental impact. You can see by the numbers here, roughly 40% of energy consumption, greenhouse gases, raw material use, and about 30% of waste output is generated by buildings. I'm going to go ahead and say about 40% of all environmental bad things that happen are as a result of a building. So enforcing what a green, first of all, having greener buildings is obviously a high priority for all of society. Sweden has obviously adopted that earlier than we have, but establishing what that means in a quantifiable, rigorous way that either is or is not green allows for people to have a certification system to have more integrity, to have more meaning, to have more value. So, U.S. Green Building Council is a not-for-profit agency, and they administer the LEED system. Essentially, building developers submit applications to the U.S. Green Building Council. The U.S. Green Building Council reviews the submissions and says this meets our standard or does not meet our standard. They'll go back and say you are certified or you are not certified. There are, I believe it's 4 different levels of certification. There's platinum, there's gold, there's silver, and there's bronze. Essentially, most new buildings across the United States, if they're getting built, and there's not many getting built these days, they're going to get LEED silver or LEED gold. It's just standard. It's being accepted by the entire real estate industry, and it's because of the integrity of this certification process. And once again, it is voluntary. It's not established, but if you want to be in the real estate industry and you want to be on the cutting edge, LEED has established itself and marketed itself so that it's associated with being high tech. And I'd venture to say that this is, we're talking about green tech as if it's its own thing. But at the end of the day, green tech is just better tech. It's just better technology. It does more with less. And we'll go into some of the numbers of what that means in a second. So, the LEED process essentially breaks the environmental impacts of a building into 5 different categories. Sustainable sites, essentially, people don't really realize this, but New York City is actually probably the greenest city in this country. And it has to do with the proximity to public transportation, the density of the buildings, the fact that infrastructure is shared amongst many tenants. So on a per capita basis, New York City is actually one of the greenest cities, and that has to do with things that are considered sustainable sites. Water efficiency. Justin Wright can talk to you about the details of this, but essentially there are impacts of a building, not only the building, but the amount of concrete that they have, the paving that they have, needs to absorb the water. If it doesn't, it essentially runs the water off, picks up all sorts of chemicals, and that goes back into the water stream and dilutes and pollutes the water that you drink. Energy and atmosphere has to do with the energy usage of the building, material and resources. FSC certification that we said, was it Swedish? FSC was Swedish?
It's actually based in Mexico.
Mexico.
But they can work in Sweden.
FSC is used in material and resource category to establish a benchmark. If you have a certain percentage of the wood in your building FSC certified, you get that credit. And once again, those numbers on the side there, you need to achieve those credits to be able to achieve a minimum level of LEED certification. So just to give you a sense of what it means to qualify for a LEED credit, all those things are broken down into different credits. So EA Credit 6 is the credit for green power. The green power you use must make up a certain percentage of the total power used by the building. I think it's about 30%. And all these renewable energy, you either can generate the energy on site, you can use solar panels, you can use even on-site wind turbines, but often, as is the case in a place like New York City, you can't actually do that. Technically, you can't do that. So what someone will do is they'll purchase a renewable energy certificate that's Green E certified. Essentially, some wind developer in South Dakota will produce wind because they can, and the U.S. developer will subsidize that, hence contributing to the environmental benefit. Credit EQ 4.1, low emitting materials. paints have something that comes off them called volatile organic compounds. You might see this across a lot of literature, VOCs it's called. And essentially, if you use conventional paints, you know that new car smell? That new car smell is actually volatile organic compounds that are somewhat toxic. So essentially what the Green Seal standard is a level of volatile organic compounds that is healthier, even minimal to none. Some of them are actually soy-based paints, and they're much, much better, especially if you have kids. And the value has been substantiated. There's a reason why the real estate industry, if they're building a new building, they're going to go get LEED certification. And it doesn't have that much to do with green. It has to do with being green. If you look here, energy value, so per dollar invested on a per square foot basis yields $5.79 energy value, emissions value of $1.18, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The cost on a per square foot basis, additional to develop LEED, is about $4. So I think it's per $4 invested in LEED certification, you yield a net benefit of $67.31. So this goes into, this technology pays off. It's better technology. So, aligning environmental goals with efficiency. Environmental equals efficiency. That's just the way it is. That's more attractive to building owners, developers, energy users, etc. So that's kind of the value proposition that we're all looking to get to with our clients. So lessons learned: LEED certification is the greatest. No, there are definitely some challenges to it, but just wanted to say, establish clear, quantifiable standards. Something needs to either be or not be green, and the looser that is, the less integrity it has, the more useless it essentially is at the end of the day. It needs to be applicable to different product types. I didn't go into this, but to achieve EA 6, there are different ways to do it. EA 6 was green power. You can buy RECs, you can generate renewable energy on site, you can get your energy utility to designate a certain percentage of the energy you buy from a renewable source. So it allows for flexibility within that, incorporates other certifications. In order to create something that's green, the standard for something that's green, you need to deeply understand what the technology is before it was green. So people who make paint established the Green Seal. People who made buildings established LEED. So you need experts to determine what the cutting edge is. And that's demonstrate real benefits, as I demonstrated there. So thank you for your time. I'm hoping everybody's somewhat awake and be happy to accept questions.
Okay, thank you.